I am an artist, I'm a keen gardener, and I have a very special interest in soil. And I bring all these three things together in my art. I've been an artist for many years, pretty much all my life, but I also have had over my career, I've had a long interest in gardening and farming. Around about 4 or 5 years ago, I had the idea to bring those two interests together by actually making my own paints out of soil and then using that as a way to talk about soil. Because I was spending a lot of time in my garden, and therefore I was painting and drawing and sketching the plants in the garden. I wanted to sort of show the whole of the plant. I was coming up with ways to paint plants showing not only the plant above the ground, but all the roots and everything going down into the soil. So I was using my oil painting mainly to paint, you know, showing the different sort of levels within the soil, the different layers, with a sort of organic layer on the top, and then the mineral layers down to the sort of bedrock and all the little roots coming down and the fungus and all the microorganisms and everything. I was painting the soil with conventional paints. But at one point I just had the idea, actually maybe I could do something with the soil itself. So I dug up a little bit of soil in my garden and I cleaned it and I sort of filtered it down to some fine clay, and I mixed it with water because I had no idea how else to do it at that point. But anyway, I made this sort of sloppy type of mud, and then I was sort of puzzling around how to do that. And then I looked into historically how artists actually made paints before this commercial time. Now we're so used to going to the shops and just buy the colors we like, and all the paints are ground to the same fineness, right? But in the distant past, of course, artists made their own paints, or there were workshops that made paints for them, and their paints were made from natural materials like soils, or perhaps on plant would make different beautiful colors. If you go right back to the old prehistoric cave paintings, those beautiful pictures of animals and that they hunted that are inside the caves are rarely just made with soil, perhaps mixed with some animal fats or some medium like that, and they still last to the present day. So I realized that if I was going to make my own paints, I had to come up with my own mediums depending on what sort of paint I want to make. And then I went on a long journey of experimenting with different mediums. I like to use natural medium, which is a tree gum, to create an actual paint that then can be used to put onto a painting and raise awareness about the beauty of soil. And then basically that is how my journey with soil painting has gone. You know, it's been a process of both looking historically at how artists make paints and also learning by trial and error, with a lot of error, I have to say, to finally come up with paints that will be long lasting, you know, that the color won't fade, they won't fall off the canvas. My whole career over 30 years has been focused on sustainability in one area or another, both as a gardener, farmer, running small ecological businesses, right? So that covers a very wide range of issues. So why did I particularly focus on soil? Because I think that soil is perhaps one of the most, if not the most fundamental issue that we also tend to not really pay so much attention to. So many human civilizations have started with lovely fertile soil, and then they've farmed in such a way, or they've done deforestation that has destroyed the soils, and they damage the environment. It's very important that we learn how to manage and care for our soils. We can actually farm in such a way that soil is improved rather than degraded through the process of farming. So I think through the art is another way for me to raise people's awareness around the sort of preciousness of soil and our connection to soil, and the connection between us and landscapes and the soil under our feet, right?